Right now at 6, day 2 of the trial for a La Crosse man accused of killing his wife. The prosecutors making their case.
And an upcoming Chippewa Falls hospital hitting a construction milestone when the project is expected to be complete.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Emily Brown.
And I'm Ken Kozarowski. Day 2 of the Zachary Fritz trial.
He's accused of fatally stabbing his wife in 2024. News 8 Now's Grace Monk is live outside the courthouse. Grace, who took the stand today?
Fritz took the stand again today, and this time it was the prosecution's turn to ask questions. They argue that his actions were a result of alcohol use and not bipolar disorder. Attorneys pointed to a period where he experienced stability without medication or alcohol. But Fritz doubled down, letting the attorney know that that's not the case.
I'm drinking to self-medicate.
Is it true that you lose control when you're drinking?
Yes, but there's also the underlying issue of being in a manic episode.
The defense called a forensic psychologist to the stand. She says Fritz was showing signs of mania prior to and after his arrest. Also on the stand today, a deputy and investigator who were on scene. They answered questions about the state Fritz was in when his wife died. Reporting in La Crosse, Grace Monk, News 8 Now.
All right, thank you, Grace. Happening now, the DNR is monitoring a manure spill in Trumpelow County.
News 8 Now's Jadius McGee joins us in the newsroom with that story. Jadius.
Yeah, right now neighbors say they're worried about the impact on their animals and farms. The Wisconsin DNR says a spill was discovered last week near Oak Ridge Drive in the town of Gale. Runoff from the manure spread, reaching nearby streams connected to Beaver Creek, contaminating the water. Neighbors say they're especially concerned because animals rely on that same creek.
My cows, there's 18 of them out there, will be drinking water out of that creek. And the bacteria levels may get way too high for them to not get sick.
Reminds farmers to avoid spreading manure during high-risk runoff periods. The DNR says it's working with farms and local officials as the investigation continues. Reporting in the newsroom, Jadius McGee, News 8 Now.
Thank you, JDS. A News 8 follow-up. Construction crews hitting a big milestone this week at the new Aspirus Chippewa Falls Hospital. Prefabricated sections were lifted into place by crane, including the emergency room and roof pieces. The new hospital will offer primary care, emergency services, and overnight stays. Construction is expected to be complete in September.
McIntosh Memorial Library is helping Viroqua residents find employment. Today, they cut the ribbon on their Job Pod. It's a space offering reliable access to job search resources. It includes access to virtual employment specialists and resume, cover letter, and interview guidance.
It's a soundproof space, so people going in will have independence and privacy when they're working on their job-seeking applications.
The Job Pod is a state program through the Department of Workforce Development.
Northwoods International School taking part in the 20th Jumpstart Read for the Record. The annual campaign is the world's largest shared reading experience, uniting millions of people to read the same book on the same day to promote the importance of kids reading. This year's featured book, See Marcus Grow by Marcus Bridgewater. And this year, Logan High School students helped out with the event.
Just like you don't have an experience like this just being at school to get to interact with all the kids, and you kind of forget what it's like to be back in elementary school, so it's fun.
Since it started in 2026, over 30 million kids have participated in Read for the Record.
Well, we are in for an interesting couple of days. A little bit of spring-like warm-up tomorrow, and then a harsh return to winter, Greg.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's going to be kind of a swing, which we start seeing this more in March. And we talk about seeing in the book there, but I bet you can see where the snowpack is on this, because that's where the temperatures were in the 30s. You can see all the way up to northeast Wisconsin, which makes sense. But then you can see that stripe all the way down towards northeast Iowa, where you still have quite a bit of snow, actually over a foot on the ground. Outside that area, 40s, and if you go further west towards Mankato, yes, they were near 50 to give you an idea. For this evening, really quite pleasant out there, not much of a wind going on. A few clouds out there getting back down to 30 degrees at 10 p.m. with, once again, light winds, similar for La Crosse, just falling down quickly to about 30. We'll have a little bit more cloud cover later in the night, but not much this evening, with not much wind too, but that will pick up towards the morning. Overall, still very good. We're all above freezing, almost near 40 with some serious clouds out there, but otherwise very pleasant for this time of year. Big picture shows you pretty good temperatures. Still 48 in Mankato, 48 in Moss. Well, actually it's down to 46 now too, but gives you an idea of what's going on to the west. So later on, yes, we're going to flip it back and forth here. Weekends back to the winter. We have snow for some areas, then maybe some more milder temps coming next week. So we'll break all that down a bit later in the broadcast.
All right. Thank you, Greg.
4 Wisconsin Badgers are back home after taking home the gold in Milan.
Yep. Layla Edwards, Caroline Harvey, Ava McNaughton, and Kirsten Sims were all part of the Team USA women's hockey squad. The players say the lessons they learned from UW coach Mark Johnson helped prepare them for the world stage.
I'll talk about it, how calm he is on the bench, and he never makes us worried at all. Even if we're down in games, like, he's never freaking out or gets too high. Like, he's very even keel. You definitely take some of that consideration into, obviously on a bigger stage like that, even though it's not him coaching.
Former Badger Hillary Knight, also a huge part of that team. In the gold medal game, she hit the game-tying goal with a redirect with just 2 minutes left in regulation, and that, of course, set the opportunity for the 2-1 overtime win against Canada. And some dreams will be achieved this weekend in Madison as the 83rd edition of the WIAA Individual State Wrestling Tournament is underway.
News 8 Now's Kate Overton joins us now from the Kohl Center. Kate, how are things going so far?
Well, so far, so good. We just wrapped up with the Division I and the girls session. Right now, the Division II, Division III boys getting ready to go. Preliminaries and quarterfinals tonight, semifinals tomorrow, and of course, the finals on Saturday night. Coming up later in the show, I'll have a full breakdown of what I saw in that first session. We had a ton of Division I and girls make it through to the semifinals. I'll tell you who made it through coming up later in the show. Guys?
All right, thanks very much, Kate. We'll check in with you later.
And still to come, Wisconsin State Supreme Court election is just weeks away, and what a new survey reveals about the candidates and voters.
And Minnesota Governor Tim Walz responds to federal funding cuts, his plans to tackle Medicaid fraud in the state.
Tomorrow on News 8 Now this morning, Little Green's big benefits. A local expert breaks it down on Foodie Friday, and Art has a milder Friday forecast before that big weekend chill. We'll see you at 5 a.m.
Come into comfort during the International Furniture Fjord sales event. Get 20% off all Fjord's chairs in stock and special orders. The Tri-State's largest Fjord showroom is at International Furniture, La Crosse.
To everyone who values tradition, what does tradition mean to you?
Our family's been doing fish fry here for years.
At Culver's, we make our fish fry the way tradition deserves.
Hand battered right here in the restaurant.
Right here.
Right here.
The food here never disappoints.
And the best part, we get to sit and enjoy the company. Hey.
Helping you spend time with your family, it's what we're all about.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
We see you out there doing things your way. So why shop the same retail giants as everyone else when you can find the same trusted products you want and need at unbeatable farm and fleet prices? Right now, during our spring workwear event, men's full blue denim jeans are just $10.99 a pair. Half off these men's Wolverine work boots, $59.99 while supplies last. And new spring colors of men's brunch pocket tees, $25.99. Find value on the things you value. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Yeah, I joke, my ears were her Valentine's gift a year ago. So something I'd been thinking about, and so Valentine's Day was coming around, and I had spoke to Tom a couple times, but never made anything definite, and so I just kind of made the definite plan and made it happen, and glad I did. Wish I would have done it 20 years ago.
Yeah, he can actually participate in conversations now and not just shaking his head.
Better hearing is a better life.
Come into comfort during the International Furniture Fjord sales event. Get 20% off all Fjord's chairs in stock and special orders. The Tri-State's largest Fjord showroom is at International Furniture, La Crosse.
A new Marquette Law School poll is giving a clearer picture of how voters feel about the upcoming Wisconsin Supreme Court race.
Consumer reporter Michelle Renee Quinn gives us a look at what the survey shows.
With just 6 weeks before the spring election, 66% of Wisconsin registered voters say they don't know who they'll vote for in the Supreme Court race. 17% say they'll vote for liberal-backed candidate Chris Taylor, and 12% for Republican-backed Maria Lazar. Chris Taylor is a Madison local who says she advocates for public safety and victims' rights. She supports abortion rights and is campaigning on a promise to stand up for Wisconsin families. In 2023, voters in 24 counties elected her to the Wisconsin Court of Appeals. Prior to joining the bench, Judge Taylor served nearly a decade in the state assembly. Maria Lazar has served in many roles in the legal system, including as a judge of the Wisconsin Court of Appeals since 2022. She began her career in private practice, worked for 5 years as an assistant attorney general at the Wisconsin Department of Justice, and Lazar defended Wisconsin's Act 10, which limited collective bargaining rights for public employees. The Marquette poll also looks at voters' thoughts on data centers and the August race for governor, which many are also undecided about.
Happening around the state, Vice President J.D. Vance visiting Plover, Wisconsin, south of Stevens Point. He spoke at a machining facility, which is in Republican Derek Van Orden's district. The congressman joining Vance, promoting the Trump administration's accomplishments and economic agenda.
So if you are a citizen in this district and you see a big tax refund check come next month or the month after that, whenever you file your taxes, remember it was Derek Van Orden who made it happen, and it was congressional Democrats who tried to stop it.
Vance's visit comes ahead of what's expected to be another competitive midterm for the 3rd District. Homeland Security says ICE agents won't be at polling places this November. In a statement, DHS says ICE does not plan to target polls. Not everyone buys the reassurance. Skeptics worry immigration agents will interfere with the midterm elections.
Governor Tim Walz laying out his own plan to take on Medicaid fraud in Minnesota. The plan includes enhanced detection, oversight, and increased penalties for fraud, also establishing an office of Inspector General.
I've already told you we're taking accountability. We're seeing the fixes. The results are starting to show themselves. This package is needed.
Attorney General Keith Ellison also released a plan to take on fraud.
We will have more news ahead.
But first.
Yeah, definitely going to feel more like spring tomorrow. Unfortunately, if you like winter, it's coming back for the weekend. So we'll tell you what the temps look like and who might see the snow on Saturday. That all coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
Menards 11% rebate is here. From lighting to lumber, from doors to floors. The bigger the project, the bigger the rebate. Pick up that paint. Start your new kitchen makeover and order that outdoor space of your dreams. Save big on every project you're tackling. Hurry into Menards now and get an 11% rebate on everything.
Save big money at Menards.
Discover a level of comfort you never thought possible. Discover stressless seating at Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota. Designed to harmonize with your body's natural movements, it's the premier destination for relaxation and rejuvenation. And right now, you can take an additional 10% off the complete line of stressless living room furniture. The savings won't last, so don't delay. Don't wait, it's time for Stressless. On sale now at Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota.
We are the Dillows. We are from Northern Kentucky. Being out in a rural area, coverage is pretty hit and miss with other carriers, so switching to T-Mobile solved a lot of problems that we had.
I'm able to use T-Satellite now. We've got coverage no matter where we're at.
America's best network meets off-the-grid satellite coverage with T-Satellite. And now switch to T-Mobile and get free phones for $0 down. Plus 4 lines for only $25 per month per line.
Better service, better price, win-win.
Living with chronic migraine? 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more. Botox prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine, and treatment is 4 times a year. So why wait? Talk to your doctor.
Botox effects may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as trouble swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Those with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Side effects may include allergic reactions like rash, breathing problems, dizziness, neck and injection site pain, and headache. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions like ALS, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medicines like botulinum toxins, which may increase the risk of serious side effects.
In a survey, 91% of patients wish they'd started Botox sooner. Ask your doctor today. If eligible, you may pay $0.
Well, it's been the case pretty much for the entire winter, minus a few times that we've had warmer conditions. It's been cold in the east and warm into the west, too. So you can still see overall 50s to the west, 60s. This, we're going to see some of it, even 55 all the way, 40. It was 55 earlier, now 46 in Bismarck. That's going to be coming up our area here for tomorrow. Now, there's still quite a bit of cold air. You can see negative numbers well to the north in Canada. We're not going to get that, but we are going to get a taste of some winter-like conditions, more what you would expect in January coming this weekend. Really, it's a pretty decent jet, and when you start seeing this 3D look and you start seeing that red, you're looking at about 150 mile per hour jet stream gets coming down. This will be diving south tomorrow with the cold front, a dry cold front that is, but still it's going to be ushering in some colder conditions too, and we still have the jet overhead coming Saturday. That's going to help usher in a little bit of a disturbance that's going to come through, provide the snow for some areas, and then over the weekend it's going to kind of sit that way until we get to next week, and then things begin to change a little bit. That pushes off to the east. We kind of get what we say a split flow going in here with one jet coming from the south, one to the north. This one's going to provide a little bit more milder conditions for the second half of the week. Unfortunately, it also is going to provide more moisture and probably a system or two coming next week, Thursday, Friday. Looks to be more rain, but we'll keep an eye on that. But it definitely will be milder towards the end of next week, given that change. Tomorrow, a lot of areas in the 50s, except the snow-packed areas, especially northeast Iowa, just south of La Crosse, where you have probably over a foot still on the ground. That'll probably keep you in the 40s. Today, it kept you in the 30s. Tomorrow, 40s. So everyone else, for the most part, is going to hit 50. May not quite feel like 50 with that wind turning around to the west-northwest in the afternoon when that cold front comes through. These are your temperatures highs for Saturday. Quite a drop. In fact, not much of a change for some areas from their overnight lows. But overall, it's going to feel more like mid-January. And that snow, I'll show you primarily I-90 and further south. Less as you go further north. Pretty much not much of anything as you go all the way up to Rusk County. Now for Sunday, quiet conditions, dry conditions. For the most part, it's still going to feel like January. Mid-20s, a few areas may get closer to 30, but all in all, a cold weekend once again. Now, as we mentioned, the snow possibility, there's that disturbance right along the jet, as I showed you. It's going to start coming into picture probably some point sunrise Saturday. Just a very narrow band that's going to come through, just stay like I-90 across the west of the river, and then kind of dive south. Still a little bit of a question of where the band will actually orient it. It could go a little bit further north or south, but for the most part, it's going to stay south of I-90, come through the morning hours, and then exit for the most part by noon. So really, it's a morning snow for the most part, and then we'll have clearing skies going on Saturday night as we go into Sunday. That's the one that we're checking. Now, snow amounts, really right now, if you're south of I-90, you could pick up 1 to 3, but there will be a narrow little band hint right there that really you could see isolated spots getting 3+. We're talking 3, 4, maybe even 5 too. So that will be very narrow. So something like that. Definitely if you have travel plans out in that area, generally if you're going to Crawford County, adjacent areas in Iowa, something to keep in mind for some slick roads as we go through tomorrow morning. By the afternoon, as I mentioned, most of that is done with, but still, it's something to keep in mind for that area. Otherwise, we get milder next week, but as I mentioned, we get more active towards the second half of the week with really, it's going to be mostly a rain event or a couple rain events. Could be some wintry mix in there. We'll kind of nail that down as we get closer, but all in all, if you like spring, you'll love tomorrow. If you like me, like winter, you'll like the weekend.
All right, so everybody gets a little something.
A little bit for right now, and that's what March is. Everyone gets a little day here.
Oh, yes. Thanks, Greg. Coming up next in sports, it's Combine time. Hear from Brian Gutekunst as the NFL Combine gets underway from Indy. Plus, the day that so many wrestlers have looked forward to has arrived. We've got a live report from Madison at State Wrestling next.
Proper installation of your new windows make a difference. The team at Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions are factory trained to make sure your windows are installed to last. Call or stop into the showroom for your free estimate.
I met my abuser when I was 10. He was my Sunday school teacher. At 18, I was pressured to marry him. Chris Taylor was the first person to stand up for me. She worked with both parties and with law enforcement to pass laws to protect survivors like me. Chris listened, and my abuser went to prison. On the Supreme Court, Judge Chris Taylor will continue to protect Wisconsin.
Judge Chris Taylor, protecting our rights, defending our freedoms.
If you want selection, then that's what we've got at King Furniture. More mattresses. Did you know you spend a third of your life sleeping? So you better have the best mattress you possibly can. King has a huge selection to choose from at every price range. We'll even deliver your new mattress and haul away the old one for free. Take time to find the exact mattress you want because you're going to be sleeping on this for a while. Head into King Furniture today.
It's Hy-Vee's one-day sale, Friday, February 27th. Bone-in pork shoulder roast is just $1.77 a pound. Hy-Vee pasta, 88 cents. Select Hy-Vee soup, just 49 cents. 5 pounds of russet potatoes, $1.48. Brew Pub pizza, just $4.99. Save on Coke 6-packs and more, Friday, February 27th. And every day, you'll find the same low prices online as in store. Only at Hy-Vee.
Experience the thrill of gaming at Ho-Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin. Whether you're a slots enthusiast or prefer the excitement of table games, we've got you covered. Enjoy delicious dining options, live entertainment, and exclusive promotions that add even more memories and adventure to your visit at any one of our 6 locations. And coming soon to Beloit. More of our amazing gaming options, amenities, and outstanding service you can count on. Find your fun today at Ho-Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin.
Covering all the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports with Jacob Lenzendorf.
Well, it is finally here. WIAA State Wrestling kicked off earlier this afternoon. 3 days where some see their dreams realized, others feel that sting of defeat, and a handful walk away champions. We now welcome in Cade over to News Live from the Kohl Center. Cade, I know it's early on in the tournament, but what are some of your takeaways so far?
Well, my biggest takeaway is this place is electric during this time of year. Always an amazing atmosphere. The WIAA said they have a sold-out crowd. Now, there's a few empty seats tonight, but I'm sure tomorrow during semifinals and Saturday during the finals, it's going to be a crazy crowd. Speaking of finals, that's the goal for a lot of these wrestlers, but you can't get there unless you win your first 2 matches of the tournament, and that's exactly what we have today. A lot of preliminaries and quarterfinal matches, and the Holman Vikings were dominating during their time in the quarterfinals. They had a handful of kids make it through to the semifinals. They also had one of their girls, Aini Anderson, get a huge upset in her quarterfinal match, and she was thrilled. You can hear from her later at 10 o'clock. We also had we had Riley Hanrahan for Black River Falls and Layla Risler, both at 145. They're going to potentially meet up in the finals, but they're both through to the semifinals. I mean, the D1 and D3, or D1 and girls just finished up a little bit ago. They just cleared the mats for D2 and D3 boys, so that's going to get going right away. We've got 8 wrestlers from GET Melman, 5 wrestlers from West Salem Bangor, 6 wrestlers from Aquinas. So we've got a lot of kids yet to wrestle tonight. Of course, as I mentioned, semifinals tomorrow, finals on Saturday night. We'll have all the coverage throughout the weekend, so be sure to stay tuned for all of the wrestling coverage. Jacob.
All right, looking forward to seeing that report later, Kay. I know how much you love this time of the year. We'll talk to you soon. Meanwhile, the NFL Combine happening over in Indianapolis as the draft is just 56 days away. The Packers don't have a first-round pick this year because of that trade for Micah Parsons, and it's somewhat of a new situation, as this will be just a 3rd time since 1986 that the Packers don't have a selection in the first round. Here's what Brian Gutekunst says to those that are banking on a potential trade to get back inside the top 32.
It would take a significant amount of resources to get back up in to the first round. But if that player was available and that made sense to us, we would never shy away from that. I wouldn't expect that to happen. Usually, the areas of the first round we could get into would be more towards the back half, and so I wouldn't expect it. But if the right player fell, then we'll be aggressive about it.
If Green Bay doesn't make a move, their first selection will be pick number 52. Packers will also not have a first-round pick next season. But, guys, after seeing what Micah Parsons did last year, I think I'm okay with not having a first-round pick.
I mean, it's one of those things where you have picks where you're selecting players that you think are going to grow into franchise cornerstones. But when there's a guy available like Micah Parsons, you give up the draft capital because he's already proven he can play.
Already proven it, and we'll see what the draft is like in Pittsburgh this year compared to Green Bay last year. That was a lot of fun. We were there, so we'll see how that kind of stacks up. So looking forward to seeing how that goes. And then also that wrestling content later. Can't wait to see how that shakes out.
Yeah, a lot of wrestlers in play tonight locally, so fingers crossed we get at least a couple champions.
I think Kate said 59 total we have from the area, so that's a good, good chunk.
Good
so
on.
hopefully some gold medals coming
Yep,
up.
for sure.
Thanks, Jacob.
All right, Greg has a final look at your forecast right after this.
Keeping you safe and ahead of the storm. The first Warren Weather Storm Runner. Only from News 8 Now. Expect more.
The hot, crispy filet o fish. You either love it or you haven't tried it yet.
Hurry in and get 2 Filet-O-Fish sandwiches for just $7.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
It's time to nominate your favorite business for Best of La Crosse County. Make your nominations in each category now through March 9th. The top 5 in each category will move on to the final round. Go to bestoflacrossecounty.com.
Presented by River Valley Remodelers.
You know what's on my mind? It's butt cold out here and I don't have any heat at home.
Well, gotta have heat, Einstein.
I just don't know who to call.
Well, there's your sign. Jeez Louise.
Call GNC.
The best heating and air conditioning, guaranteed.
Whenever heartburn strikes, get fast relief with Tums. So you can enjoy the food you love.
In La Crosse, great bread doesn't have to be complicated. Bucket of Bread baking kits make it simple. Just add water, mix, let rise, and bake. From artisanal style breads and pizzas to cinnamon buns, pretzels, bagels, and more, one kit gives you endless possibilities. No mess, no stress. Just real baking made easy for real life. Ships nationwide with free local pickup. Order online at bucketofbread.com. Bucket of Bread. Simple ingredients, meaningful baking. Veteran owned.
All right, I know we don't like to talk about snow, except me. But
Yeah, right.
what do you think that we get some big snow in March? So what's the highest 2-day total for Eau Claire and La Crosse? What do you think it's going to be?
Combined
2 days.
across 2 days?
2 days. 2-day totals.
Oh gosh, Jacob.
62.
What?
16 inches.
There.
Oh, snow.
21.
Okay, sorry.
21.
I was thinking temperature.
Oops.
Oh, what's the answer, Greg?
See, temperature.
Now I'm dying to know.
Oh, anyway, here we go. It'll come up here, hopefully. There we go.
Okay.
Wow.
See, that's why I called on you, Jacob. I
Yeah, you
felt
knew.
like you were going to nail that answer.
Okay.
Now, 59, but in 1987, I was in Grand Forks. I do remember that storm. It was 18.2 down here. So
course you did.
that's the highest tomorrow. We will get snow this weekend, but nothing even close to that, of course.
Okay.
Gold sticker for me for that one.
Yeah. Yeah, A+ for Jacob.
very good.
Thanks for joining us at 6.
We'll see you at 10.